Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we talk outdoors for all you good folks in Brownsville, Tennessee on AM 1520 and 95.3, and, of course, in Jackson at 101.5, and, of course, all of our great listeners in the Memphis area on ESPN 790. And we appreciate having Frank Barton in the studio this morning. And, Frank, we have a tradition we've started here. You were one of the first that we let our guest host announce a segment, and you've been voted right now. You're in third place. I just wanted to let you know that as far as what we have heard from our listeners, that you're right in there near the top. So you'll get a chance later in the show, so be thinking of something that will really put you up at the top.
Well, there's only like three of us. That's kind of like saying I'm in last place.
I didn't say that, Frank. I said you're in third place, okay? I did not say last place. No. There are others. And Dave Gabbard is here.
Good morning.
Brought him in from Lexington, Tennessee, the retired minister of propaganda for the TWRA. And, of course, this next guy on the line with us right now knows the ex-minister of propaganda because that's the way we all met. And it's always great to have Daniel Stanfield on with us. He is the region. We don't have region. He says. Dave says there is no region anymore. We'll say West Tennessee. He is the big game coordinator and the fur taker coordinator. And we're going to kind of double up here a little bit, not only talk about the velvet deer of last weekend, but we're going to talk fur trapping here a little bit on this show today. Toward the end, Mark Moore from Humboldt has driven all the way down here to be with us. But, hey, Daniel, good morning.
Morning. How are y'all doing today?
Okay, we've all known the velvet deer hunt was held
right.
Was held on August 24th through 26th.
That's right.
3-day hunt, antlered bucks only, in velvet. It created quite a stir, a newsworthy, and we like to talk about those things like that. And
yeah.
So let's talk a little bit. We talked about it before, so let's talk about it secondhand now. It's over with. You got the numbers there, so give us a little take on what happened during that 3-day period.
Well, yeah, you're correct. It was a 3-day hunt. This is actually the first year that the state of Tennessee has had this, I guess you call it a velvet hunt.
That's what we call it.
Early season, though. I think I saw a couple pictures or some online that some hunters successfully harvested that had already, rubbed some of the velvet off. But the majority of the bucks had their velvet because it was only geared toward the antlered males or antlered deer. But as far as statewide numbers, I think the final number that I looked at was about 781 deer or bucks from across the state. And then when you kind of break that down, I'm really interested in the West Tennessee numbers, which is 25 counties here in West Tennessee. And in West Tennessee, there's 128 antlered deer taken.
Okay, all right.
And but out of the, there's 25 counties here in West Tennessee, and there was 3 counties that did not have a harvest. And them 3 counties were, I think, Tipton, Lake, and Crockett County. Either nobody hunted or nobody was successful in them 3 counties. But
how about Shelby?
It was
Shelby, did we?
Shelby, you had 7 deer checked in from
7
Shelby
deer.
County.
Okay.
Yeah, the largest county was actually Humphreys County with 16.
We don't.
That
count
was the
them.
most that
we
was
don't
taken from one county.
They're across the river. They don't count it. So, who was second?
Second was Stewart County.
Come on, keep coming. It's get closer.
Okay, we get to Henry County was at 10.
Henry County was 10. So that's the most of any county west of the Tennessee River, right? So,
correct. Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, let's look at this and from your standpoint. Me and Dave were talking about this off the air. We got 95 counties.
Yeah, 95 counties. In
All right, so you got 95 into 781. So I mean, the average was not a whole lot. So
it wasn't.
So is this about what you've talked to your other buddies and talked to the guys over in Nashville? What's the reaction you're hearing from this number?
Well, it's kind of mixed emotions. You know, a lot of people think it's great and was excited to get out. I think, you know, every time you have a first year, a lot of people either don't really know about it or they're skeptical about it.
Yeah.
But I think moving forward, it'll pick up steam. There'll probably be more people out. But, you know, man, last weekend it was hot.
Oh, really? Yeah. What do you expect,
really
Daniel?
hot.
It's a late August in the area. The normal temperature, and we don't come. And you know, but I'll tell you, I've had some friends said it was 68 degrees, and they took that as cool. But when they got out, it was the old heat index, which I wish they would quit even mentioning that. I know it's hot. Was 103, but So these were your dye wool. Or just when somebody just wants to say, hey, I was there for the first one.
Well, there for the first one, but, you know, a lot of guys have never, you know, hunting in Tennessee with our seasons that we've had for years, you know, you've never gotten an opportunity to take a velvet deer. You know, Kentucky did this last year, a few years there, and you know, to a lot of the diehard deer hunters, it'd be pretty cool to have a mount on their wall with a deer in velvet to say they took one, you know, during the Tennessee velvet hunt.
I think we should have given certificates to the ones that killed. You got one of this, the first ever, and look back and show their grandkids. Yeah, I was that silly. I was out there, you know, and everything because there was a lot of zeros. But at the same time, do you think this will be? This is the 2-year deal, right? I mean, at least. When you set the hunting season?
With the season settings, they went to a 2-year rotation. So I would imagine it's going to be there again next year as well.
Yeah, and I don't know what the processors, how they reacted. I don't know what how people.
I believe from kind of what I saw and talked to some people and saw some stuff on social media. You know, a lot of some of the processors opened their doors, and I was really amazed with a lot of your taxidermists that follow the social media aspect of it. They were putting little tutorial videos and telling the hunters what they needed to do as far as, you know, to kind of preserve the antlers until they got that head to their shop, you know. So I thought that was really good that they were reaching out to them and trying to keep the quality of the animal intact.
I guess we should have had Brian Thompson on here to tell how many tickets were given to, just to make sure that, hide the corn, so to speak, in there with so much vegetation and everything. Again, we're talking to Daniel Stanfield. He is a TWRA West Tennessee big game and fur taker coordinator. And I know, Dave, what's your take on having this season, and maybe what are you hearing from up in the area in Lexington when you are home?
Well, it was I talking to the local shops that carry archery tackle and stuff like that. It seemed like everybody was, gearing up, early, especially like at Paris up there in Henry County.
Yeah.
Holmes Sporting Goods, it has a real big archery section. And back earlier he was talking about everybody was excited and how much they were coming in and updating their equipment and everything like that. So, but it's like, I'm kind of like the opinion like Daniel. This was something, if you were a hardcore archery hunter, you don't care if it's 93 degrees. You're going to be out there.
You didn't shoot any squirrels the second day.
No, he probably. That's what I told somebody. I said, you will probably come closer to seeing a velvet buck than a squirrel hunter.
Yeah,
they just true. Non-existent.
Yeah. Well, they were out there, Dave. I'm sure there were. Some of them were out there, and tradition is tradition. And now, all right, so we got Kentucky, we got us. Any other state in our area? I don't think Arkansas has this, do they?
No,
right?
The closest thing we come to is a private land antlerless hunt in October.
In October, yeah. So this was when you think of August 24th and being out there, and I had a friend that went out there. He had a great time. He saw more squirrels than he thought he did. He didn't see one turkey, he said, but no, not even a doe or anything like that. So it comes down to it. Well, let me ask you before we get out of here and let you go. What do you hear? Mass crops. A lot of people, we're getting ready to. Archery is not that far away, folks. I mean, the true archery. Right. Third Saturday in September?
That's right.
Coming up pretty soon. So what are you hearing about from the mass start, I guess people. This also gave them a chance to scout, right? So they could use that as a scouting tool.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of mixed. It's all kind of dependent. A lot of that was weather dependent. But this spring we had a lot of good rains, and So what I've heard is they've got some pretty good mass crop in the woods, and if anybody was out this past weekend, I hope they took note of it and see where them big acorn trees are at, and keep that in the back of their mind. Which one thing I did notice by looking at a lot of the numbers, I don't know what the percentage was, but I want to say that the majority of them were killed in the afternoons. So with it cooling off, the bucks probably were going to the crops, the agricultural fields. This time of year, a lot of the bucks are still bachelor grouped up, so they're a little easier to pinpoint and figure out than it comes time of the rut.
So most of them were in the afternoon. Well, that's interesting.
But he's talking about mast. What I've seen in my section up there in Henderson County, the white oak, especially the white oaks, have an excellent.
Well, that's what I look forward. Yeah, that's what I look forward. And I know Daniel. We got Mark Moore coming in with us. From the Mid-South Trappers. That's part of your line too, and
it is.
And I know
hopefully Mark will educate y'all and inform y'all of the rendezvous that the club has got coming up here shortly.
We're going to talk to Mark later in the show about that and everything. Daniel, thank you, buddy.
All right, thanks, guys. Y'all have a good weekend.
Talk to you down the road. Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Daniel Stanfield. All right, let's take a break, and let's switch over. It's waterfowl time. Quack, quack, quack.